This is another in the series on auctions, and I'm talking primarily about online auctions. And this one, I want to talk to you about what you need to do if you're going to buy at an auction, okay? This is how I go about it if I'm going to do it. So you get an online catalog, or sometimes they have an online catalog and a regular catalog. There's things you need to look for. One, and probably the most important, is condition. What is the condition of the object? Does it have restoration? Does it have problems? Most online auctions, amazingly enough, do not have that out front. They may have just a little blurb. If they have just a little blurb that says something about usual condition for age and condition, something like that that's very nebulous, you need to dig deeper, because this is kind of a way for them to just not have to deal with, does it really have a problem? Sometimes there's auctions that know there's a problem with it and they just say, this is the usual condition for age. Well, that's not good enough. If it's a rug, does it have bleed? Does it have problems? Are both sides the same? And that brings number two. You need good photographs to be able to bid at an auction. So you need to understand what you're dealing with. So you need front and back, sides, if it's painting, front and back. Three, you should call the auction house if they don't give you a good enough explanation for condition, find out about restoration. And you may want to do that regardless, even in the condition report. Does it have any restoration problems? And sometimes they won't mention this. And remember, when you buy a piece at auction, you're pretty much stuck with it. So most places don't have return policies because that's why they do it at auction. They don't have to be responsible for it. And that comes to fakes and frauds. So you really want to do some investigation, especially if it's painting. I see these all the time, especially with Maynard Dixon, which I specialize in. There are pieces that are signed MD or Maynard Dixon. They're clearly not that. Wrong date, wrong time, wrong everything. But do a little investigation. You can even email some of the experts. Sometimes they'll help you, sometimes they won't. But at least you can do some research. And if you don't feel comfortable, don't bid, don't buy. That's always the case. Also, you can look up to see what has this piece done in the past. There are different types of databases out there that you can look up to see if this piece is sold in the past or not, because you'd like to know what the history of it. Has this thing just sold for $100,000 and now it's selling for, they have the estimated at $200,000 or $50 and now they have it estimated at $100 or less? Sometimes you'll see things that were sold at auction that really obviously had some problems. Maybe they weren't right. Maybe there's some other thing. The person can't get rid of it now. They put it right back at auction as soon as they can. That's usually a telltale sign that there's a problem. So do the investigative work on the pieces to know what you're looking at. And then once you go to bid, you go, okay, I feel comfortable. I know what I have. I know what it is. There's an estimated price on the object, right? So you need to understand what you're willing to bid. So if the estimate's, let's say, $500 to $1,000, and you know this is a $10,000 piece, well, they have the estimate wrong, and you need to be prepared to be able to buy at that level, at the higher level, and don't be afraid. Just because it's going above what it is, usually that means other people know. So there's certain things you need to look at when you're doing an online auction or in a regular auction as well. And those are the types of things that you want to look at every time, especially condition, especially lots of photos. If you don't have that, probably shouldn't bid or bid low.